everyone, and welcome to Salty Sweet Games, where we shenanigan, sob, and smooch our way through tabletop role-playing games. I am Salty.
And I'm sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, our long-running Pulp Cthulhu campaign. Before we go around and introduce everyone and their characters, we have some channel shout-outs. Firstly, a ton of thanks to our sponsors, starting with Roll20, a virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. We're part of their Spotlight program, which highlights indie tabletop creators all across the interwebs, and we love partnering with them. Evil Hat Month. It is the last couple days. There are discounts on things like Thirsty Sword Lesbians and also Monster of the Week. Both really awesome games. So if you head over there, there's a whole landing page. There are videos about how to play like super snappy. It's really great. It's a good time. Also, thank you to our sponsors, Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Co. We have affiliate links and discount codes with them if you like your shiny math rocks, as we all do, or your soaked beans, as I like to call them, in Allie's mushroom cup. She's away right now, so I get the mushroom cup. So yeah, check them out. They're a really awesome company, and we like working with them. Thanks everybody, especially at the top of the stream, who has subbed, resubbed, gifted subs, followed, chatted, lurked, liked, commented on YouTube. Hi YouTube. We super appreciate it. We do have our new emotes, if you haven't seen them, our swoon/drama, and our defense, our little raider, hedgehog, and our 2-year badge, which some folks have now, which is wild. If you want to support us further, if that's possible, there are tip incentives listed down below under the Affect the Game panel. If you want to seriously impact the game, you can click on that or use exclamation tip. Oh my god, I forgot about spicy, as we have a spicy emote, and I think I also made that a follower emote, so you can just have that for free. So basically anything that comes in goes to compensating our cast and upping production quality for this stream right now. We might have something exciting down the road. Anything that comes in is always appreciated but never expected. So hang out, have fun. If you are joining us for the first time, I got a summary for you. This motley crew is trying to stop an apocalyptic event from occurring. Their journey started when their good friend Jackson Elias was murdered for investigating the infamous Carlisle expedition, the members of which were all formerly presumed dead. They're not dead. Since then, they've uncovered a global conspiracy involving various death cults who all worship different aspects of the same god. Many names, many forms, but all the same end to one end. This has taken them from Peru to New York to England, Shanghai, and Australia. The cults are working together to build a machine that will rupture and taint the sky, opening the way for countless unfathomable hungry beings. Our heroes have discovered the planned date of the launch and know that a great ritual will be performed in precise synchronicity with it. Machine, described as a silver bird, is housed in a volcano on Grey Dragon Island off the coast of Shanghai, from which the investigators were previously forced to flee. Last time, yes, hungry beans. Dang it. Last time, the investigators returned to a quieter Shanghai. Some of their friends and even some of their enemies haven't been seen or heard from in weeks. But their allies Chu Min of the New China Movement, Captain Sojie of the Japanese Imperial Navy, and Jack Brady of the Carlisle expedition are still fighting the good fight. Yes. So, the plan is for 3 teams to get onto the island on the night of one of their monthly rituals, using the cult's robes as disguises, investigate what they can, free any captives, sabotage or destroy the Silver Bird, all before Captain Soji blows Grey Dragon Island to Kingdom Come. They can do it. I'm sure they can do it. Great. So, how do all of you spend the 2 days of preparation you have? I missed this music, by the way.
Zeb has gone to get a shave and a haircut because he thinks he might be perhaps a little bit too recognizable at this point.
Are you telling me that the mustache is going?
The mustache is going, unfortunately. Yes. Yes, he's just a little bit too recognizable at this point. He's a tall, broad-shouldered white man with a thick mustache, which is pretty noticeable. And he's been to that island, and they know.
And he was seen.
And he was seen. So, yes, the glorious mustache is gone.
I've never been so disappointed.
I know. It'll come back eventually. We've got, who knows?
We might have 6 more months left.
we might, or we all die.
Or we all die today.
But yes, the mustache will probably will probably come back. But yes, cut his hair sort of short, kind of maybe just a little bit longer than a crew cut. And shave the mustache because just a little bit too recognizable. I don't know. Is there like can you get like fake glasses in this day and age?
I'm sure you
They're called regular glasses that you just don't usually wear.
Zeb's main thing is touching up on like making sure he's not immediately recognized and outed.
Yes.
When he gets to the island. And working on a persona because he can't be Gerald Fitzpatrick there because that was what he used last time.
Damn, such a good cover too.
It was a great cover, but he's pretty sure he's got a better one now.
Great, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
What about anybody else? Preparations?
Yeah. I don't know literally anything about anything happening here. So I spend 2 days asking questions about what the fuck is going on here.
Yes.
And getting up to date.
Yeah.
Just like kind of, and also like getting to know our allies,
Yeah.
I think like a little bit, just because, I mean, Ava's a smart girl.
Yeah.
She takes notes.
Yep.
So she's like asking a lot of questions and like mentally playing a lot of catch up. Because the thing is like she knows that they went into the situation in Australia like pretty well prepared. Like the group explained to her and her father like what was going on, right?
Yeah.
But that said, they weren't as prepared as they could have been. And she doesn't want to be caught off guard again,
Sure.
So she's asking questions, I think, not only to like her little group, but also a lot of questions to the people outside it.
Yeah.
Just so that she feels fully well equipped. That when they get to the island, like if there are surprises, it won't be for a lack of asking questions on her part. Like it won't be that she didn't. And now she has like firsthand experience too of like seeing what this shit can really be like.
Yeah.
So yeah, just doing a lot of preparation, a lot of learning.
I think Jack would definitely talk to you. Jack, as we all know, appreciates a good-looking person. And
I mean, beautiful.
There are 4
Stunning.
here.
Mm-hmm.
So he will definitely update you on everything, help you, put names to faces, in what the investigators have told you about the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll definitely take charge of that.
Hell yeah. me and Jack spending 2 days together, just like talking, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
As a reminder, I think that Jack's face claim is Robert Beltran.
It is.
Chakotay from Star Trek Voyager, right? So who wouldn't want to spend a couple of days
And
in
Wouldn't want to spend
deep
anyone
conversation with Jack Brady?
So
And, like,
handsome.
Like, I'm asking questions about the situation, but like, tell me about you, Jack Brady.
Tell me about you. Like, what are you into?
What are you up
Well,
to?
my boyfriend's in an asylum. My girlfriend is out of the country. I smuggled her out. It's a good time. It's a good time for Jack Brady. Okay. Irene, what about you? What does prep look like for Irene?
God. I think she's like going through all of the notes and work and all that stuff that they, have compiled over the past year. And even before that with Peru. I think she's making copies. Mostly as like putting down key, kind of like a synthesis of putting down all the key stuff that they've learned out of all the various doodles and notes that have been made, but also to have another copy so she's not the only one carrying all this information.
Sure.
Thinking about like if anything goes wrong, this information needs to continue to exist beyond us. So I think that's mostly it, because she didn't really have anything to do in terms of like preparing to go into this place. She knows what the plan is. She has her gun. That's about her martial powers there.
Good.
Maybe with the Schumann just brushing up a little bit on her Shanghainese.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. Are you planning on sending these documents to anyone, or is this more?
You know what? The League
The
should probably get these.
The League should get them. Yes.
I think that makes sense, considering we sent Anthony away with one of the documents. I think who would I send? I think I'm gonna send this to Mickey because that's hilarious to me.
That's pretty
That's
good.
very
That's
funny
good.
to me.
I like
So
it.
I think so she just like takes all of the key information and copies of notes and drawings and packages it up and sends it out to Mickey. It's like, hey, so this is what we have so far.
Yeah.
We've got 6 months as of this date.
Excellent. I'm gonna write that down.
But I pick the other two potentially less of a wild card journalist? Maybe. But also, it'd be very funny. So.
I can't wait till he gets that. That's good. I'll look at the timing of that, because...
I mean, he was the most like, oh, okay, out of all of us.
Yeah, no, just super chill. Good. And Ganymede Graves.
Ganymede first makes sure everyone has all the ammo that they need for their firearms. And after that, she finds as quiet a corner as she can find and settles down with the various texts and manuscripts of mythos knowledge that she's collected over the time that they've been together, and she studies those spells like she once studied for final exams at Oxford. I imagine Ava asking, with all those questions, initially maybe asking Ganymede, a lot of questions and she is, of course, she starts off very polite and very patient, and she very quickly degenerates into impatient, although still very polite. And unless anyone tries to engage her, she's going to be focused exclusively on that until it's about time for us to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I add one thing to what
Yes.
Zeph was doing.
Shave and a haircut wasn't enough
Yeah.
for you?
No. Could Zeph have attempted to find someone that could teach him some basic Russian?
I would have sent him to the what was that club for
The Seamen's Club.
the Seamen's Club. I would have sent him to the Seamen's Club down by the docks to track
Smart.
down a Russian sailor that he could buy drinks for and learn a few phrases.
All right.
Yeah, he's not trying to like learn Russian. He's just trying to learn a few things.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Please give me some kind of social check.
Man, is this something I want to use advantage on?
That's a great question. I don't know.
It is. It is.
Oh, good.
It is something.
Just gonna tick that off your list.
Yeah. Is this like social, like persuade?
Whichever one you want, basically.
Okay, persuade, I think, is my best skill.
Great.
At
Go
the
for it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, come on.
Hey!
Extreme success with the advantage. It was worth it.
Okay. Worth it. Okay. Okay.
Zebulon, surprisingly good at languages, apparently. Quick-witted.
Yeah, just a quick
It's that quick-
study.
Quick study on languages.
Take a 10% in Russian.
It's the equivalent of walking up to someone who speaks a second language and asking them to teach you swear words in that language.
He definitely learned swear words in that language. Especially if I got sent to a sailor. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's the first thing I'm learning.
that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Just walk into the cultist places, call them out.
Oh good. Okay. Meanwhile, the captain leaves to go and give orders to his men. He indicates that the little ship you took to Australia is not the only vessel he has nearby, so he's off doing that. And Chuman and Jack Brady are gathering the Fermies and getting some firearms. So the plan, as Chuman and Jack lay it out, is that Chuman is going to lead 12 onto the beach. Hopefully not only to deal with anything there, but to if there is a distraction to be had, it should be focused there and not in the volcano. Jack believes there is an underwater entrance from what Chumin and Zebulon observed. That also seems likely. So the plan is for Jack to lead 12 of the Fermies that route, with the 4 of you coming in on kind of the opposite side of the island from Chumin and heading up to the volcano entrance in disguise. The captain is going to be waiting off the north shore of the island and plans to send down a naval missile assault from his true vessel called the Divine Wind if you do not return by dawn. Sound good? Sweet. Yeah, easy. No problem.
What could go wrong?
What could go
It's literally gonna go off without a hitch.
Not one single
Not one issue.
hitch. Don't mind me just putting on my dread music. So it's great stuff. As you approach the island, the four of you, Jack, Chumin, the captain, and 24 of the members of Firm Action. Is there anything you would like to say to each other? Basically, any last minute things as you don your black and yellow robes?
Zeb wouldn't mind having a chat with Awa.
Sure.
Zeb will probably find you at some point. Maybe he's got his hood pulled up, and like you maybe don't immediately see him, and he approaches. And he says, I think whatever he says, I cannot do a good Russian accent, but whatever he says is gonna come out in sort of a Russian accent, which he has learned pretty decently with that in that time. Can we? It's storming, right? Or is
Sure, now it is.
No, it is. I don't know.
Let me get some rain going.
I can't.
Thank you so
I do remember there being rain the other day. I wasn't sure if
It's
it was
always
still
raining
raining.
this time
Yeah,
of year.
yeah.
It's always raining.
Because like I think he would mention something about the moon, but if it's monsoon season, we probably don't see the moon. And I think the new moon, is this the new moon?
Yes, so interesting point of order. I think as you were heading out, as the sun was setting, the sun was covered in like almost like a dark disk. I don't know how many of you have seen solar eclipses before.
Us
But-
in real life or the character?
Either.
I mean,
Ganymede has.
I've
But
seen some in real life, but
I
I
think
don't.
Yeah, I think as you're... Ooh, yeah, I like it with this music. As you're standing on the ship together and the sun starts to go down, you start to see it slowly encompassed. And you know this is the same celestial event that will occur on January 14th of the new year. And it seems an ill omen.
A rather auspicious sign. Da. I think is. Sounds a lot better than what I'm saying.
Yes, of
but
course.
obviously, I think as Zeb sort of pulls up next to you and then drops the hood, and you see that probably looks fairly different from how you've seen him because he's shaved the mustache, cut the hair, looks a lot younger now.
Yeah.
Like you probably could have passed as a few years older before this, but now he definitely looks pretty young because he's not the baby of the group anymore, but he is still pretty young.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's he mentions the solar eclipse, I think, as he sort of steps up. And,
Yeah, I think she's just staring kind of like out at the horizon as it's like getting rapidly like darker early or even earlier than the sun fully setting, right? And I think you can tell like she's definitely lost in thought. And it's like you almost like startle her, right? Not only because you're like coming at her with a Russian accent, you look completely different, but also just like it's like she's kind of like easily she's like jumpy lately,
Yeah.
I think. And so she just kind of like jolts a little bit and then looks at you. Oh, yeah, based on everything you all have told me, things like this seem to play a rather large part.
Well, nervous much?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I'd like to say you get used to it after a while. It's not really you get used to it, it's always going to be strange, but you kind of get... Man, you don't even get less surprised. Like, I can't... Like, things happen, you... Man, I don't know how to describe it. You kind of get to a point where you kind of just accept that strange things are going to happen, and you're either going to keep jumping at everything, or you kind of just nod your head and, yeah, this is the thing now. That's kind of where I'm at with these things.
She sighs, turns and looks back out like in the direction that they're going, like toward the island, and what's the worst thing that's ever happened?
To me personally, or that I've seen?
Well, either, I guess.
Oh, I mean, I've seen things people got killed at that fair by the invisible thing, right? Or like other people. I'm trying to remember what's the...
I don't think so. I think it was mostly
No.
focused on you and Ganymede.
Okay. Man, I mean, saw some weird stuff in Peru. Lot of bodies. Lot of bodies. Lot of bodies. That was pretty bad. That's probably one of the worst things I was like 17 at the time, and I had never really left Charleston. Well, I mean, I left Charleston. I hadn't really left Carolinas, and that was pretty bad. Oh man, I seen people trying to sacrifice other people. That's never fun to see. A snake once came out of an old woman and bit me and tore me up pretty bad. I still got the scars from that. Yeah, I mean, there's just an incredible amount of just death involved with this cult. Like the cults we've seen, just so many bodies.
But you survived somehow.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine on that one, to be honest. But well, no, that's I don't need to guess. I mean, I stuck with my friends and we look out for each other. They're good people. Even Charles, as flighty as he is.
Well, yeah, hopefully they don't let you down this time.
Well, I don't think they will. And, I hope, see you through this, and hopefully you'll help us out and we'll help you out. And we all stick together, right?
Yes. But I don't know that I would count myself among your friends.
You know, I didn't know Miss Blackwell or Charles before we ended up in Peru facing down some weird death cult stuff. I'd say we're pretty well on the way to being pretty decent friends at this point. Seeing the things we see and surviving them tends to do that. I hope that you know, at the end of all this, that you can count us among your friends.
Shared trauma does have a way of bringing people together.
Yep. Yes, it does. Zeb gets this like far off look.
Yeah, I think it's like there's like a vibe that she's being like sarcastic, but it doesn't necessarily like sound like sarcasm.
Yeah. I think Zeb's also giving off a vibe of like he's being very poignant and
Yeah.
being like, "Are you on our side or not?" Kind
Yeah,
of
I think
moment.
she's like I think she's not letting you know. Like I think
Yeah.
she's like purposely like not answering that question, you know?
Yeah.
Either blatantly or like with like you know, body language or anything. She seems very like much isolated. Like she's like with herself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough, and I don't think Zeb pushes you on that at the moment. But... Well, just steel yourself. We're probably gonna see some weird shit tonight.
We are going into a volcano.
That will not be the strangest thing we see. And I think that's probably where Zeb probably steps off.
The captain when you're about as far away as you can be but still see the island, the first thing you can hear is drums. Distant. But those of you who were in England, it reminds you of approaching the ceremonial space on the estate of Miser House. That same kind of rhythm. You can see lights on the island, but otherwise it's too far out. Chumen and the Fermies load into one like rowboat to approach the beach, kind of a longer one, and Chumen, as he's going, make sure to go up to you, Zeb, and like grip your shoulders again and like give you a little shake. And he does the same to Jack. And they load up. They are armed and they go first. You can see also ships kind of in the dock of this island. You see the luxuriant goddess. You see the sea devil and the dark mistress, Sir Aubrey's yacht that is pointed out to you. So all the players seem to be here, and there are other smaller vessels as well. the captain's ship takes you around the south side of the island to drop you off next, Jack being the last one with his team, who will be dropped off in the water. As you are getting ready to be lowered down into this other rowboat, Jack says, Scholar Moo, he had a saying about all this kind of thing when it would be time for us to come here. Be as stealthy as a tiger and spring as decisively. Good luck, I guess. As you board the boat, I think he looks at Irene. This is a 10-yard line, you know. Gives a little wink over at Zeb. 'Cause football.
I blinks back.
Yeah.
Just boy stuff, you
You
know.
know, just like
Guys.
boys.
Just guys being guys.
Stuff.
But you remember the 10-yard line was something he talked about when he was telling you, like, if you fail in any way, if you quit, if you die, like whatever it is, at the 10-yard line, you'll damn us all.
Right, yeah. Well, I think almost every single time has been something like that, so. With a little more pressure.
And you are lowered down. So, as you approach the island, just the four of you, it's made up mostly of cinders and sand. There are stunted palm trees, and you see little sand crabs moving about. There are dozens of active steam vents that dot the island. It almost looks like it's on fire, if you've never seen a volcano, but it's just those steam vents. The cinder cone itself is about 500 feet high. You are not on really the side where the kind of small village is at, but you've seen it before. I think you can probably see it in the distance as you make your way up the rocks and through the trees to the main path. And there is a path that you know leading from this village up to the volcano. There are lit torches along the way, and the music is loud even from as far away as you are. What would you like to do?
So our main objective here is to get probably into their main ritual area and make sure that whatever it is they're doing doesn't happen.
Could I I hear things so well.
You do.
I hear things amazingly. As we're kind of like coming up off the shore, I know you said there were like drums.
Yeah.
There's like, we haven't seen anybody down here.
Mm-mm.
Could I still just like casually like listen around, see if I hear any like people or things that should be here, or get a directional sense of like where the sound is coming from?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead and make a listen check.
Bonus die. Okay, let's see what's up. Okay.
Good.
So 30.
30.
Should be hard.
Hard success. Great. So listening to all this, everything seems to be coming from up this path, the one that leads toward
Yeah.
the volcano. You can hear kind of what you think might be the sounds of people. You don't hear anything from the village, so either Chumen hasn't like sprung yet, or they're approaching it more stealthily, or they haven't run into anybody yet.
Okay.
It definitely seems like, just judging from the amount of like vessels that were docked, like there are a lot of people on this island, but they're probably all gathered.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think then she's just kind of like, she just like gestures up the path.
Yeah, I think Zeb will probably lead them sort of back the way he remembers up towards the main area. He sort of turns back. He's like, remember, I am Vladimir Igorovich while we are here.
Okay.
If Zeb is will lead, then Ganymede will be in the rear,
Mm-hmm.
kind of covering our backs.
Yeah, I think Ava's like right behind Zeb,
Mm-hmm.
because she also is like, she's a new face to anyone who would be involved, right? So I think she can also get away with like just being like a rando cultist, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be just hiding behind the two. It's like, don't look at us, don't perceive us.
Yeah, I imagine Zeb's probably leading him up that way, but I think, since Zeb's been here, I think before because he went inside, right, and saw the silver bird, yeah. So I think before we sort of get towards the entryway, Zeb will maybe stop for a moment to just kind of do some recon, just to see, like, is anyone approaching? Do they have guards?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. You want to make a spot hidden?
I would
Cool.
like to do
Sorry,
that.
I'm just reorganizing my roll window while we do this.
Hard success.
Nice.
Nice.
So as you are approaching, yeah, it seems kind of strangely quiet. And like there don't seem to be any guards. This is something I think that your group, including Jack and Chumen, kind of hypothesized, is that whatever was happening was going to be big, and it would probably be less likely to be guarded, because it's just going to whatever they're doing, they are very occupied with it. So like, you are not being spied upon. Nobody is like, there are no sniper holes. Like, everyone is in the volcano.
All right. Uh, before we go in, let's see. I guess we've got 2 objectives while we're here. We need to stop whatever ritual it is that they're performing, and these things could be one and the same. I guess we won't really know until we get in there, but we need to stop whatever ritual they're going through, and we need to destroy that machine, whatever it is.
Well, the destruction of the machine may be taken care of by the captain at dawn.
That's true. I mean, we can. It was how deep in there was that? Was the thing in the volcano?
I mean, you can kind of almost see everything inside the volcano, from what you remember. Like the cylinder.
So theoretically, they could launch into the.
Yes, that's his plan. Like
Okay. Alright.
It's definitely doable. And
So it is.
Chumin and he have been talking about it for
Mhm.
obviously since y'all have been gone, right?
Okay.
But I mean, that's kind of a last resort because that's Japan bombing a Chinese island.
Yeah.
It is. He doesn't want to do that. So if you can destroy the machine, that's great.
Yeah.
But he will do it because he
Yes.
doesn't want that weapon to exist in anyone's hands.
You have to open any blast doors.
We don't. That's the last resort.
Yeah.
Like,
We would
don't
like to
wanna
destroy.
do
We would
that.
like to destroy it if we can. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
As opposed to him bombarding it from.
Yeah, starting
Yeah.
a war.
But-
Starting,
Yes, he would
starting a
prefer not.
serious international incident.
Yeah. He
the
will,
very
but he
least.
doesn't want to.
In this world, this is how. And Zev says, "Well then, all right. So, obviously, if we can, we'd like to destroy that thing. If we, ideally, we'd like to stay together as much as possible. But if we have to, in order to accomplish our goals, between stopping the ritual and blowing that thing up, if we are forced to split up, we should at the very least think about, obviously, no plan survives first meeting with the enemy, but we should at least think about who's going to do what. Yanni, normally I'd say you'd be on blowing up the ship duty, but I think you know the occult better than the rest of us at this point.
I can protect us, I think, for a limited time. It's a barrier of sorts. And they would have to work to penetrate it. But it's limited in size, somewhere around 100 yards or so. If we stay together, we can all easily be within that.
Oh, that's certainly new. I was thinking more, the occult, you go and, take out your gun and you deal with Hofei, with a good old, blast to the chest like we usually do. But, you got some new tricks up your sleeve, and, your skills best. So, I think that.
We're in cultist robes, right?
Yeah.
We sure are.
So, yeah, I think like Ava's just kind of like, Miss Graves, what does the protection look like? Do you know?
From what I understand from the text, it's invisible. It's felt more than seen, a sort of a force field. Things that are inside are inside, things that are outside are kept out.
You all are more experienced than I am, so I'll defer to your judgment, but they are going to be distracted, and we look like one of them. We can get close and make an assessment before I think it would even be necessary to protect ourselves. If we can get close and see what we're working with, potentially we can withdraw, speak again, and if that's necessary, this barrier, then you can use it. I think prematurely separating ourselves or drawing attention to ourselves in any way could do more harm than good.
Yeah, I mean, no, certainly. Hopefully we have time for all of that. I'm just saying that if I'm just saying that if it comes down to, you know, if I have to deal with the cult or deal with the blowing up the ship, I will probably deal with blowing up. I will personally take care of blowing up the ship, because I have tangled with the cult stuff and it has not always gone well for me. I know a little bit less about that stuff than some of the rest of y'all. So, if I have to, and it comes down to it, I will break off to deal with the ship. If it comes down to it, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Ava gets a look on her face, and I think she just says, Zebulon, earlier today, you said to me that the only reason you and your friends have survived was by staying together.
Well, I said we look out for each other. I didn't say we necessarily. If you think we stuck together every time during all of this, oh man, I can tell you that was that was a misquote by me. No. We looked out for each other. We stuck with each other metaphorically as a group. But I would appreciate if someone came along with me to help blow up the ship. But that may be a in the moment decision. I'm just saying that if there is a time where we have to split up in order to deal with both the cult and the ship, I'm going to the ship. Because I've tried punching some parts of the cult and it does not work so well.
I think your speculation on whether the group will need to split up is premature.
I mean, I hope so. I sincerely hope so. And so we'll head towards the entrance, I guess.
Okay.
There's definitely the vibe that I feel in my heart is, when Ron Swanson goes to a Home Depot and he says, I know more than you.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the vibe that I feel is coming off of Ava. She's coming into your space and Zeb's talking to her. And she's just I know more than you. Come on.
I talked with Jack Brady for 2 days.
Yeah.
I know better.
It's just it's just she's younger than him,
Right,
but it's definitely
that's
she gets the sense that she's she's done nothing but research her entire life. And accompany her dad, and even though it's not practical knowledge, she has an air of I know more than you.
And Zeb's definitely man, we've made, we've said stay together before, and that has almost never come true. So it's kind of practical knowledge versus lived knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. So Zeb's gonna yep, I really hope so, and looks at everyone else and heads forward.
Okay.
Yeah, let's freaking go
Let's
up
fucking
that
go.
path. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna bring you all over to the map. I hope you're ready. I don't know that I am.
so many of them. What
Is
the
that so?
fuck?
You think it's a lot? I don't know. It seems like
That-
not that.
What
many.
the fuck?
Is there rocket fuel in this thing above a big pit of lava?
Don't worry about it. Where are you?
I am worrying about
Why?
it.
Why would
It's
you
a lot.
do
It's a
that?
lot of people. It's a
I
lot
don't
of
know
people.
why
It's
you
so
would do
crazy that those are people.
that. Mm.
Those are people.
Those are
Like,
people.
Those are a lot of people.
And you fit right in. You're fine.
We fit right in. We're wearing the exact same thing as them.
I'm gonna just zoom in.
Yeah.
There we
Wow.
are.
Hopefully, everyone has hoods up. Yeah.
Yes.
They-
Yeah.
Yes.
They
Yes.
they all have
So-
hoods up.
So, you walk down a long set of steps, which you've been down before, Zebulon. This passageway is decorated with the incised outlines of gigantic, misshapen, kind of octopus-like creatures, these hideous fish-like humanoids armed with tridents, and vile, bubbling blobs covered with flailing appendages. The chamber that you emerge into, where the drums are loud and there's the sound of like chanting and moaning. The chamber's about 150 feet high. You can see out of the top of it this kind of cavern left when the volcanic material retreated from the top of the cone to the magma pools below. There is a hard orange light in here. It almost seems like it's coming off the kind of slimy fungi that coat the walls and ceiling, but is actually a reflection of the baleful glow emanating from the magma pit in the center of the chamber. Your eyes are drawn to what you might describe as a gleaming metal bullet, about 75 feet high, which appears suspended on sturdy girders above the magma pit. Around this great bullet, cranes and platforms at various heights hold maybe half a dozen cultists in the same robes, testing circuits, performing repairs, inserting wires, making spot welds. Around the floor, you see many cultists engaged, some in chanting, some in another activity, it seems. Some of them who aren't in robes but are moving about have these kind of strange dark blobs attached to their head, like almost like a dark headdress, but you see some of those strange fish-like humanoids you've seen before scuttling about, some going between the magma pool and like an actual water pool that is near the entrance. On the opposite side of the bullet, you can see another pool that is bubbling. Far to the rear of the chamber, an immense statue about 30 feet high stands, though you can only see the back of the statue as it appears to face away from the chamber. But the shape is of an enormous woman whose likeness I think you have seen before, but her back is to you. The entire scene is both breathtaking and horrifying in its scope. Let's have some sanity checks.
Great. Love to start with it.
Don't we just... All right. If you succeeded, you lose 1. If you failed, roll a d6.
Ooh. Oh.
Very nice. It's not nice. It's not that nice. Okay. Nobody turns to look at you when you come in either. They are all very engaged. That other activity appears to be copulation. Just happening.
Lovely. Expected.
But yeah, so all of that is going on. So, what would you like to do?
Okay, so everyone is like chanting and staring at the big bullet.
Or copulating.
Or
Yeah.
some are kind of transfixed more toward the statue.
Okay.
Some people are even working on the bullet like while this is going on, but nobody is looking at any of you.
Okay. So do you think like would it be easy enough to move kind of not like freely in this space, but like around the outside of this space without drawing too much attention? Like, is there movement, people like walking around that it wouldn't be?
Yeah, it's definitely not a static thing. It doesn't even seem to be kind of in sync. It's like lots of different things are going on. I think
cool.
By the base of the statue, you can probably even see Ho Fang leading a group. It's like, it's very spread out. It's very fluid.
Okay. And all of this stuff, like right here next to us, it's just building materials?
Yes.
Is that like mostly what it seems like? Okay, cool.
It's kind of, okay, so since that is kind of what you're looking at first. It's like a pile of tools, packing crates, raw materials, and these kind of small cigar-shaped tanks studded with strange nozzles and harnesses. You can see the cultists who are working on the bullet wear these, like, I don't know, like 15-pound units on their backs. And when they're using them, it's like the tanks are like welding devices.
Okay.
And they emit these beams of scarlet light that sizzle and fuse metal surfaces. So you can see them using that on the weapon. Okay,
cool. Well, that's great to know, because that means that it gets very hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to just lock away. They're like 15 pounds, you said? Like, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
Maybe I just put one on.
Sure.
I'm just gonna put it on. Put one of these things on. Yeah, so all of you would see Ava like kind of like goes over to this like pile of stuff and just like puts one on. It's not like it was super weird because there are cultists here wearing them. But yeah, she's gonna kind of like I'm like watching them to see like is there like a lever or is like just to kind of try and get a basic understanding of how this works, just in case I need to like, because I have a gun but I'm terrible at using a gun. So, but if I need to like close combat, like zap somebody or like burn them with this fucking torch thing, I'll do it.
Yeah, why don't you make an intelligence roll?
Okay. I'll use an advantage.
You can always re-roll. You don't have to call it ahead of time if you don't want.
Okay. Oh, hard success.
Great. See?
I'll use 2 points of luck too, actually.
Great. Okay. Yeah. So you, just from a few minutes of observation, you pick this up relatively easily, even though you don't know, like, it does seem alien, but, like, the principles are pretty obvious. So you have a combat skill now called Firearms Alien Welding Device with a base percentage chance of 10%. And why don't you roll a d6? Since you got an extreme.
Alien welding device.
A 5.
So add 5. So you'll have 15% with it. So that's what Ava's doing. Ava's going to be doing that for a few minutes.
That goes under my combat?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's everybody else doing or looking at?
Do we see any of the other major players? Is like Captain Van Distraught from the Sea Devil here, or
make a spot hidden.
Okay. hard success.
Fantastic. Everyone's just...
I'll use the point of luck to make that an extreme.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Luck is a free resource.
Luck is a free resource! So Ganymede, looking across this hall, this chamber with an extreme, you see a couple of different things. But as far as people go, what part of Captain Vanderstraat did you cut off?
I shot off his left leg
Yes, and I
from
think...
the knee down.
Great. Great. So, at the base of the statue, kind of in front of this group, you see Ho Fang, and with him, what you assume to be Captain Vanderstraat, because he doesn't have his left leg. But he is likely suffering from the radiation effects, which you saw previously, the crewmates of his ship. He almost looks somewhere between Captain Vanderstraat and like an aquatic creature, but kind of like patches of his skin are missing, most of his hair is gone. He doesn't seem as like hardy as when you knew him, but he is there with Ho Fang.
Do we see Sir Aubrey anywhere?
Because of your extreme, yes. At the top of a set of stairs, there seems to be a platform. You kind of move an angle to be able to see this, but you see a white Englishman who actually looks to be in his 50s, and from what you remember, Sir Aubrey was in his like 70s. But otherwise it looks like him even from this distance. He is atop this platform, kind of in front of where you assume the statue's face is. And there are, it seems, 2 other kind of smaller chambers as well in this cavern. Or actually 3. Yeah, there are 3. One kind of on the side where you are, and then 2 others.
Are any of those chambers particularly guarded or anything like that? Closed off?
There do appear to be doors. It looks like one of the doors on the far chambers, one of the far chambers is closed while the other is open. They don't look guarded. The one at the bottom doesn't really look guarded either at this time.
Okay.
It's like they are fully into what they are doing.
Yeah. I'm just thinking we need to get those other people out. Or the people who were kidnapped and aren't cultists. Because that was the other thing. We need to get them out before the island explodes. If that happens. So we probably need to locate them. Because they're not here, probably.
While this is also happening, Zeb is looking. Is there someone directing the work being done on the ship? Does there look like there's some sort of like, manager, architect type person sort of directing what people are doing?
Honestly, I think it mostly looks like kind of routine maintenance. Like they're not working on anything important at this time. I think they're even kind of calling it good so they can get in on the ritual. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we've seen the plans for this thing, right? We saw the plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will, let's see, because you've seen the plans, something that stands out about this bird, right? The metal kind of has this oily color to it that none of you have seen in like traditional metals. There are also these like small kind of motifs, almost like Art Deco motifs in the hull. But the thing that stands out, because you've seen the plans, is that the nose of it is not fitted to the rest of it right now. And there are also these kind of inch-thick pipes leading from the bottom of the rocket into the magma pit itself. They glow white hot, almost like what we know as fluorescent bulbs, like blinding hot. You see the workers are wearing goggles to protect their eyes against the light.
Okay. Is there a pair of those goggles near the welding devices?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Zeb will grab a pair of those devices. He will grab a pair of those goggles.
Yeah.
And Zeb is doing some quick thinking.
Yeah.
Thinking if he could possibly convince one of the workers to do some, like, because he's seen the plans, right?
Right.
So he's trying to figure out if he can figure out some way to have them do something to this machine that'll make it just not work, right? Or like make it like make the whatever's gonna happen go wrong. And then attempt to convince someone that they need to make that change. That's his long-term plan right now, but I kind of want to see if Zeb can figure out something from the knowledge he's gathered of this machine.
Ooh,
to
okay.
try and make this launch go wrong, essentially. Or make the machine just not function right.
Yeah. It certainly doesn't look like completely put together. So those other parts of it may be somewhere in the cavern.
Gotcha.
Although there's always also like figuring out a way to just destroy it. It's over a magma pit.
Yeah.
There is, though, there's no one directing the people on the rockets. However, on the platforms. However, you do see about a dozen people on kind of the other side of this chamber, coming from the kind of bubbling pool over there, who are like carrying buckets full of this kind of disgusting viscous substance, which they then plop into the magma pit, and someone is directing them. A large, like much larger than the people, that kind of fish-like face, with fins coming off of it, who seems to be holding something in his hands. And he just kind of like is making gestures. It doesn't seem like whatever this thing is like talking to them, but all those people who are moving back and forth between the bubbling pool and the magma pit have this like what almost looks like that dark skull cap on their heads.
Gotcha. Okay. And Zeb's gonna keep that in mind as we sort of maybe take a look around at some of these other rooms, and try to find the hostages, I guess, and
Kidnapped victims.
Possible
Mostly Mr. Lee
sacrifices,
and Madam Lynn. Right?
and keep an eye out for more parts for this silver bullet bird thing.
Okay, so Zeb has taken the time to take all of this in. Ava's taken the time to figure out the welding device. Irene and Ganymede.
I. Hmm. Kienna, go ahead for Irene. I don't know that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, I have my own questions as to what the fuck those skull caps are, because I don't know if they're
Yeah.
brainwashy devices like we saw in Australia. Is there any way I can try to see if they seem to be? How would I
Yeah.
approach this? Like, are they alive in some way? Like, my brain just thinks about a parasite or something.
Okay. You can make me spot hidden if you want more like details. If you want to try and
Yeah,
like
I'm
figure it
just
out some other
curious.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Horde.
Oh, a hard success? Sorry, I did not hear you.
Oh, good.
I wasn't looking over there either. Huh. Um, the black slimy blobs on their heads certainly look almost alive.
Okay.
And that thing kind of seems somewhat similar to the kind of things they're pulling out, the substance they're pulling out of the pool and pouring into the magma. They seem related. And that one kind of fish person with this substance in their hand, you actually can probably see that. Also seems similar to this viscous material.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, it's like it looks like quivering gray slime in his kind of clawed webbed paws. He's gesturing kind of from the pool to the magma pit and back and forth. And
Okay. Okay. More brainwashy shit.
What Ganymede will do then is she'll very casually move around to kind of around the walls to the east, assuming
yeah, sure.
north is up on the map, to catch a clearer glimpse of what the ritual or ceremony that Aubrey and maybe the others are conducting. And I wonder, with my knowledge of the mythos, if I can get any sense of what they're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah, go for it. Either occult or Cthulhu mythos will work.
Okay. I'll use a reroll.
Sure.
Ah.
It's hard to say just because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And it seems like different things. You know what most of these rituals look like at this point. There's usually a sacrifice. It seems like it hasn't gotten there yet. But there are other kind of smaller rites going on.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's being formally led yet.
Mhm.
It's like they're what is it at football games? They're tailgating. They're tailgating right now.
Just a little occult tailgate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, I actually might have some pictures of things Here
What
you go.
Ganymede is thinking is that with this, oh, that's nice.
That's what you're seeing with the one with the blob in his hands.
And the ones with them on their heads.
Yes. And here are the different types of fish people you're seeing. Ones that look more human like Captain Vanderstraat, and these other ones that have like the tridents.
Bad vibes.
Isn't that nice?
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at this structure that's holding this fucking rocket.
Yeah.
Right? Does it seem like it is going to be released, like dropped? Like does it, I don't know if I would be able to figure this out. Does it look more like it's gonna be like blasting off from like this position? Or does it look like it's intentional, like it's going to drop down and there's gonna be a reaction kind of vibe? The thing is, like, I wanna know if somehow releasing it is going to destroy it in the lava, or if releasing it is going to set it off and it will go into space, right?
Make a mechanical repair check?
Yeah, I'd love to. Okay. I'll probably use a reroll on this, but we'll fucking see. Okay. What? That's not fair. Actually unjust.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But what you can just observe is that it is, right, it is kind of held in place. Like, yeah, I think that's all you can really get from it right now.
Can I roll one more time just to make sure it's not a bug?
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. No, we've had that before.
Okay, it's not a bug. It just fucking happened. I hate it.
Make sure you tick one off from the...
Yeah.
Yeah. Ganymede, as you have come a bit closer to see what's going on, you do see like a cage door kind of separating this from like a smaller chamber.
Is that the one to the south?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll casually just stroll over.
Okay.
Check that out.
So.
Super cash. Hey guys.
So looking in, you see a couple of familiar faces. The first is Scholar Moo. Both he and the other figure in this chamber are wearing very little, and look like they haven't really slept or eaten in a long time. And the other, though you barely recognize her, is Madame Lin Yanyu. The bars are steel, only like 1 inch apart. There seems to be some kind of lock on the front.
Is it guarded in any way right now?
Nope, it's just locked.
I want to just walk up to it and face in.
They don't look up at you.
I as quietly as I can. I don't want anybody to hear me but them. I want to try and get their attention.
as you do, and your like shadow passes over them, Madame Lynn immediately begins to talk. Of course, you don't understand what she's saying.
Yeah.
But it has the air of pleading.
I say, unfortunately, my Shanghainese has not improved much since our last encounter, but English might be preferable.
Now at this point, they both look up, and Scholar Moo, kind of shakily makes his way to his feet toward the cage, and Madame Lynn is just like open mouth staring. Miss Graves, how?
We're trying to devise a plan. We're not alone. Are you able to Scholar Moo? Are you able to use magic at all? I could perhaps use some help.
He's just kind of like looking at him. The man has been imprisoned, and he does not look like he can be of assistance.
Of course, never mind. I can manage. When the time comes, we'll try to free you and make your way as quickly as you can to the beach, as far away from the volcano as possible.
There are too many.
Let us deal with that.
Madame Lynn hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
I think Scholar Moo says, the time is approaching. It's a special night for them. What with the eclipse and the rain, I think they will celebrate a while longer, but I fear when they do it, they take you up to the platform over there, and they cut off your arms and bleed you out. And I couldn't bring myself to look when they did it to that young man. But I thought the statue moved.
I do not think that will be your fate today. And with that, I'm going to I'm going to maybe move over to the other, just to the other side of that door.
Uh-huh.
And I'm beginning to think about the possibility of, in fact, I will probably begin the preparation for the ritual to cast the barrier of Noctith in such a way that it encompasses the statue and the three of them.
Okay.
It takes a minute to cast, so I'm just kind of getting ready to.
Okay. Let's make a. I want a group luck check. Let's see if you have another kind of round. Like this is Oh wow, it's going well. I see.
Oh boy. Okay, come on. Luck is a free
Uh-huh.
resource. No. Can I
Oh.
use a luck on?
No.
Guys, what the hell?
So that's a 3 to 1, which means it's a failure. So doesn't mean you're caught or anything. Everybody calm down.
Yeah.
What it does mean, however, is that Ganymede, from the pool near you,
Mhm.
this quiet pool, you see 3 figures emerge. That's 1, 2, and 3. These 2 fish people, as we call them, these 2 deep ones, out of the water, drag a limp Jack Brady. He didn't do so well at his role. And no one else with him. And the attention in the chamber shifts. There's still all this chaos going on. But Ho Fang and Captain Van der Straat, get him, begin to make their way over. And Ho Fang calls up to Sir Aubrey, who comes down. Isn't this nice? And Ganymede, you're right there, so why don't you make a stealth roll?
If I must, I must.
If you must, you must. Oh no.
I'll use a.
Yeah,
I've
go
got
ahead. You
4
have
left, so I'll use
plenty.
1.
Oh wow.
Okay, so 57, 49, 8.
8 left.
You could do that, or you could try and push it. Though, if you fail the push,
Yeah.
it's bad.
But drama's so fun, though. Allie.
It is.
Pushing could be fun for drama.
Yeah, I will. I will push it.
Oh my god, I'm so
I'll push
scared.
it.
I'm so scared, Allie. I'm so scared.
No, I'm terrified too, but it's at least it'll be over soon.
Don't say that.
I just meant the session will be over soon.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'll have lots of time to think about how foolish this was.
Mm. So to push, you need a hard success, or you can use the 8 luck, or you can push it. You can do whatever you want.
I need a hard success.
Yeah, that's the push part of it.
Um.
Isn't this a nice little frame I've got going on? Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But think of how cool it would be if you did it.
Silver, why?
You're bad. You're
Silver, why
so
do you
bad, and I
cause
love everything
trouble?
about it. I'm going to I'm gonna push it. And my push is gonna be I'm gonna get right up in them, like I naturally belong there.
Oh my god. Okay.
Right? Like I'm coming in to help.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm so scared. You can do it, baby. I believe in you.
I'm also ready to shoot somebody if I need to shoot somebody here. So let's not rule that out. All right, here we go. Come on.
Bitch, what did I fucking say? What did I fucking say? What did I fucking say?
What is that?
What did I say? How cool would it be if you did it?
That's crazy. That's insane.
You want me to roll again just to make sure it's not?
No!
Okay.
What is that?
So Ganymede sees all of this happening, and she thinks back on some advice that kind of the closest father figure that she had in her life after her parents were lost was the coxswain on board the Daring, and kind of a crusty old sailor, and he used to say something about, if you look official and confident, you can go anywhere and nobody will question you. And that's what Ganymede does in this moment. Coxswain Tommy Kelleher's voice is in her head, and she's just like, all right, here we go. And so she steps up into this like she's just another cultist who's there to assist.
So, being part of this little gang, Ho Fang, Captain Vanderstraat, irradiated and transformed, who hasn't seen you since you were a teenager.
Yeah.
Jack, conscious but weakened. You see he's bleeding and has been clawed. And you see none of the other Fermies with him, at least. Whether they're dead or not, you're not sure. But Sir Aubrey kind of magnanimously moves through the three of you. He even puts a hand on your shoulder, like a little kind of comforting pat as he moves through. Who did I decide his face claim was?
For Sir Aubrey?
Yeah.
Didn't you say Christopher Lee?
Yes, it's Christopher Lee. Okay, yes. We're talking Christopher Lee.
Now younger.
Like Dracula Christopher Lee, not
yeah.
like Saruman Christopher Lee. Somewhere in between. Tall, really put together, wearing these robes. He wears jewelry as you pass by that seems to be, you're an archaeologist, seems to be Egyptian, inspired or in fact authentic perhaps, but he kind of moves through, one hand on your shoulder, one hand on Ho Fang's as he passes by, and stands in front of Jack, who is held and on his knees in front of Sir Aubrey, who says, well, this is going to be a very special night indeed. Bring Mr. Brady to the platform. I'd like to discuss a few things with him before he meets his maker. You see Jack kind of start to struggle between the two deep ones who hold him, but they start to drag him off as Sir Aubrey begins whistling to himself, looking out over the scene before him, the rocket, the various ritual activities, the deep one with the blob, everything, the chaos of this moment. He takes a big inhale and smiles, pleased as punch, kind of looks up at the bullet and says, mostly to himself, all hail Nyarlathotep. Kind of clicks his heels together and walks, following the dragged Jack Brady back up to the platform. And that's where we'll end the session. That seems good. Doesn't he seem just like a great guy? Everything's fine. Good. Well, let's go around. Let's talk with everybody. How's everybody doing? What's going on? How's it going? Hey. Let's start with Tommy.
Jack, please.
Jack!
Jack. Oh, man. Oh, jeez, we're in it now. We are super in it now. We are in deep. Oh my God, I cannot believe that you crit succeeded on that push roll. I can't believe it. Just the stars lining up for that moment. Also, I have to say, these people with the like slimes on their heads, all I can think of are the brain slugs from Futurama.
Oh, totally. That's totally exactly what it's like.
That's all I can think of right now. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for next week. Like we are in it. We are in it, and it's gonna be a real interesting situation. Yeah. I'm Tommy, at Imperative Penguin on the Twitter sphere. Not doing too much else right now. Some stuff at some point should be coming out, so keep an eye out for my Twitter for that. Otherwise, go follow these amazing people and the things they're doing.
Mwah. Summer, how are you doing?
I have never been, I'm so happy. I have literal tears in my eyes at encouraging my fellow players to do risky things, because sometimes it just fucking works out. I mean, we knew it was gonna be dramatic, no what, but like him putting the hand on Ganny's shoulder, like as he passes through, is just like, for me, it will be burned in my memory forever. Like it's just so, it's so hot and cool. Okay, anyway, yeah, I'm so excited for next week. I literally can't wait. I'm Summer. You can find me on Twitter at Just a Summer Job. You can find me on Twitch, where I stream most days of the week at It's Just a Summer Job. I literally cannot wait for this. Next week, be here next week. I can't wait. Jack Brady! Don't worry, Jack. We won't let them cut your arms off. Don't worry. We're gonna save you, baby. I love Jack Brady. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Fantastic. Allie, you son of a gun. I was so scared. I was like,
too.
This is it. I'm gonna have to kill my girlfriend's character. That's fine.
I was a little bit scared too. No. But now they're like fully convinced that I am a cultist. They are. They're
You definitely
just
give
so,
off that cultist vibe.
so certain. Clearly, right? It's the robes. It's Zeb's robes.
Yeah, it's the robes and the magic.
That was so much fun. It was so much fun. It is, next week is going to be so wild. It's going to be so wild and so bizarre. I can't wait to see where this is headed. But in the meantime, I'm Allison. I play Ganymede Graves. I love this game and love getting to play with these people, and love that all of you come and hang out, whether it's live or asynchronously, as they say, and are a part of this. So thanks for doing it, and I will see you next week.
Excellent. Kienna!
Ah! It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Super chill. No, I'm so excited for next week. We're so boned. But it's gonna be fun. You know. Happy. But yeah, you can find me over on Twitter at Kienna S. Best way to figure out what I'm doing when I'm not here on the channel. I will be streaming some stuff with Dylan over on Anaris tonight. We are playing what's it called? Celestial Bodies or something like that. Basically, it's silly physics as cosmonauts, as you're in zero gravity and you have to co-op your way through it. We're gonna get very frustrated, so it's gonna be super fun. But yeah, otherwise, find us next week here, where we try not to fucking die. Which, you know, it's basically an attitude every time we do anything like this, but this feels especially not fucking dying. Is a major goal here. You know, ticking time bomb of someone coming in to blow up this place if we don't get out. Plus, you know, 10 million fucking cultists. Plus, you know, Penhue.
There are only like 100 cultists.
Only 100.
There are
Not
only
like
like
the
100.
most amount of cultists we've ever had to deal with at one time.
It is. It's a party, you know? Lots of things happening. Great. My turn. Hello. Hi, how are you? I feel great. I feel real good. We'll be back next Saturday for whatever's going to happen. I don't know, but I'm excited. I don't know. That's what I have to say. Thank you to our sponsors, Roll20 Dice, and Growing Coffee Co. If you ever miss an episode, you can catch us on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter, where we tweet mostly about this show. I'm just really excited. Shanghai has been so fun, and this is an absolutely gonzo finale for this chapter. So I cannot wait. So we're gonna go raid a friend from our stream team Emporium. But otherwise, we will catch you next time. Wave bye, everybody. Goodbye.